We go around to the front of the restaurant and I see, the sign that all us broke people fare the most, valet only. I drive the car inside. I'm thinking in my head, oh God, this is gonna cost $20 just for parking. We pull up, I freaking roll down the window and I go, excuse me, sir, how much is the parking? The man looks at me dead in the eye and he goes, so yesterday I went to dinner with some friends. It was myself, the girl I was dating at the time, and one of my friends / Discord mods. We went to dinner. And, before we went to dinner, he told me, hey, Evan, pick a place that you haven't visited yet. And I was like, I don't know a lot of places out here in Texas. How about you pick a place? Which probably a mistake. And so he messages me back and tells me, how about we go to this place called Fogo de Chao? Naturally, I've never heard of Fogo de Chao in my life. I don't even know what a Fogo de Chao is. I just saw the name and I was like, cool, that seems like a cool place. And so I look it up. I'm like, what is Fogo de Chao? And well, you can probably guess that Fogo de Chao isn't really cheap. In fact, it's probably, standard price for my more wealthier people in the chat, but I'm not wealthy. My point is, I start scrolling through. I just started looking at the pictures because that's what you're gonna do when you're looking at a food place, right? And so I'm looking at the food at Fogo de Chao and I'm like, yo, this looks really, really good. And, I scroll down some more and I see something that kind of concerns me and scares me. It says on the thing, typically plates per person is $50. And I was like, nani the $50 per person? That's a problem. But I was like, it's fine. It's okay. Do you know what? G Fuel has us covered. Use code Evan at checkout for 10% off on G Fuel. Link in the description. But I was like, it's fine. It's okay. We'll be fine. Yeah. So essentially, I scroll back up and I notice, how Google has like the ratings or I guess the price ranges for certain restaurants. It goes between like I think $1 to $4 signs. This place was a $3 sign place. I have never in my life on my own coin gone to a $3 restaurant place because I am a cheapskate. Okay, normally I stick to $1 sign, maybe $2 signs if I'm feeling sort of fancy, but like $3 I would literally never go to on my own coin. So we go to Fogo de Chao, and the first thing I realized was there's no parking. I was a little bit concerned. We go around to the front of the restaurant, and I see, the sign that all us broke people fare the most, valet only. I drive the car inside. I'm thinking in my head, oh God, this is gonna cost $20 just for parking. We pull up, I freaking roll down the window, and I go, excuse me, sir, how much is the parking? The man looks at me dead in the eye, and he goes, $5. And I was like, oh God, thank you. So, that was like one of the first good signs that the parking was really cheap. So, we walk in. So we sit down. He's like, well, basically they just bring meat out to you. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's the four of us around a table and, we're all sitting there. And one singular guy, this is going to be very important here in a second. One singular guy shows up and it's like, hello there, welcome to Fogo de Chao. Have you guys ever been here before? I'm like, no, never been to Fogo de Chao. He's like, well then, basically this restaurant is, and he just goes off like a million miles a minute. No one understands what he's saying. If you asked him to do Rap God, he would have done it, he would have been fine. He finishes explaining, we look at each other and we're like, did you understand what he said? And everybody's like, no. Basically, the gist of what I got was they give you these circular things that they put on the table. One side is red, one side is green. Green means you want more meat. Red means you don't want meat. Here's where it started to get scary, right? All of our coasters are flipped to the green side, right? And suddenly, so many servers just start crowding our table, all holding like the pike things that have meat on them. And they're like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And I'm just like, yes. And every single time you think that they're done because, they go around, they give you the meat, and I'm like, oh man, all right, this is good. More show up with more meat. When they say that the green side means go and the red side means stop, they mean that green side is legitimately go. They will keep bringing meat out to you unless you flip that shit over. But that wasn't even the worst part. See, at least for the meat, right? You can stop it by flipping it over. You can't stop the water. Even if you have your coaster flipped to stop, if you sip just a little bit of water, the dude who refills the water will keep coming to make sure that that glass is topped up every single time. And it is terrifying, bro. But like, you know, we get our meat. It keeps coming. It keeps rolling because, you know, fogo de chao. Eventually, you know, it's time to pay. It's all over and done with. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, fogo de chao. It's at least $50 per person. $100 should cover her and I, right? That's what I was assuming. Boy, was I wrong. You know, my buddy Thor, he opens it up and slides his card in there. Does not look at how much it costs at all. And I'm just like, oh no. You know what, fine. If he's gonna do that, I'm gonna do the same. Because at first I was gonna drop $100 in there and I was like, that's gonna be good, that's fine. I give him my card, he slides it in there too. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. Unfortunately, my bank does this thing where every time I spend money, it'll text me and tell me exactly how much money I spent. My phone gets the text message. I literally look at it because like it'll show me on the side the details of the message, like on this little screen here, and it says $118. And I was like, oh God. Eventually, they bring out the actual receipts or whatever. They hand it to me, and the receipt, I kid you not, says that the tip, you know, on the low end is $40. On the high end, the tip was supposed to be $50. So, you know, I guess this is one of those restaurants though where like all the servers, they split the tips because, you know, there wasn't just one person coming to us. So either way, that's a $100 tip. That's insane. But yeah, man, it was insane. It was very expensive. The food was very good though. Don't get me wrong. Like, will I say it was worth like the $200? Yes, actually. I would say the meat was really good. The salad bar was unlimited, you know. I only went once because the meat filled me up. The water, actually, this is how they get you, bro. The fucking water. That guy that kept coming to refill our water, bro, he fucking knew. Okay, that man made me drink so much water. Naturally, a day you should drink a lot of water, but yesterday I felt like I was the most water I ever drank in my entire goddamn life. That water was good. Dude, it got to the point where legitimately put a coaster on top of her water because she was scared that the guy would come back and fill up her water. He just would not stop. But it was a fun experience overall. It was just the fact that it was ridiculously expensive, and I don't usually indulge myself in things that expensive. I'm a cheapskate, you know, for the most part. But it was fun. It was genuinely fun. I enjoyed it. Will I ever do it again? Hell the fuck no. You know, if ever wants to go back to a place like that, she's paying for it. I'm gonna be like, nah, girl, you got this.